So we actually contacted Travel John and said, hey, can you send us some of your things to try out? And anyway, they never got back to us. So now we've changed the whole video. We're going to test 5 brands. All of the other ones cheaper than Travel John. Whoa.
Whoa.
Ta-da.
Bingo, that's good.
We treat Gatorade in here, by the way. I wouldn't do this with any of those.
Did you get that? PPE's is a bust. You failed. That's solid. That's literally a solid block. So I'm really sorry the emergency mini toilet. Your ride is over.
Oh!
8 feet, we burst the mini WC. Oh, we have leakage.
I see some liquid in this one.
Oh!
We're going to do like a Mythbusters style episode where we're going to test out 6 different solutions. Hey guys, it's Wayne from Sling Pilot Academy. Really stoked about this next video. We've actually been talking about doing this for about 2 years. I only realized because I looked at the order for this box from Amazon and it was 2 years ago. Someone bought them for the video. We knew it was going to be a lot of work. So anyway, we're into it now. A lot of you guys ask us, you know, how do we pee in the cockpit? If you've watched enough of our videos, you've probably seen us pee in the cockpit. Definitely me. Yeah, basically, we've always used the Travel John brand. So it's the Travel John,
PP Easy,
the Mini WC, and the Bitsogoon. Bitsogoon. And then we've got this emergency mini toilet. I can tell you right now, I used one of these emergency mini toilets, and good thing Matthew decided to bring some big Ziploc baggies, because I used one of these and it started to leak on the seam. Of course, I zipped it up as quick as I could. I got it straight into a Ziploc baggie.
When we got to the FBO after that flight, we got out of the plane, I took it out to throw it away, and there was an inch of pee in the bottom of that Ziploc bag.
The last thing you want is your aircraft smelling like a toilet at the beach. There's a pretty big price difference between these. We're going to throw a table up with the difference between price and with links, you know, where to get all of these. For me, you know, I'm pretty happy with the Travel John, but let's see how we do after the testing.
Definitely.
I've used this solution. So one of the things Matthew thought of is just using a Gatorade bottle.
Yeah.
So this is plenty big to catch pee. It's probably going to seal up really nicely. It's really sturdy. But then it's not convenient to travel with 5 empty.
It doesn't fold down like these.
Yeah, it doesn't fold down like these do. So, you know, let's get into it. We're gonna do some really fun testing. We all drank lots of liquid.
I had a full one of these. Aiden had about 6 cups of water. You've had a couple of those, if not 3, right?
This is my third one of these of water. So we're all gonna be busting for a pee soon.
Yeah.
Aiden was already busting for a pee, so he's done a stellar effort here. He's filled up this Travel John bag. We've put it in this bin. So one of the tests we're going to do is we're going to actually really pee in these things. We're going to put it in a bin and put them in the sun for about 2-3 days and give it the sniff test. I don't want to sniff Aiden's pee, so he can sniff his own. So each of us will label, any of the ones that we pee in, we'll label with our name. So when we have to do the sniff or the leak test, we can deal with our own. And then of course everything's going in the trash afterwards. We've got these handy little wipes to disinfect our hands after, and I would recommend using these in the aircraft as well. You know, that's another. I don't know if all of them come with these.
No, just Travel John.
Just the Travel John. So if you don't have Travel John and you're using a knockoff, definitely take some kind of antiseptic wipes with you so you can clean up if you need to, wipe your hands if you need to. Bonus point for the Travel John, but you know, we'll go through each of these and we're going to see how well they work. A prerequisite for our test was we didn't order any bags, including the knockoffs, that didn't have a zip seal at the top.
Yeah.
Because I can't even imagine having to deal with, you know, I mean, they're supposed to have a gel in them to catch all the pee, but I've filled these things up to the brim before. You know, obviously I'm very proud. You know, the last thing you want is even having to spill any, getting it from your hand into the Ziploc bag. So, so that was a prerequisite. They're all a similar size, but in the table that we're going to throw up, it's going to have the volume of each of them.
Yep.
There were some smaller ones that I didn't order because, you know, I have filled these up. Like I mentioned, last thing I'd want to do is have to, you know, hold it midstream and move to another bag. So we're starting with bags.
That'd be quite a mission.
Yeah, especially in the cockpit. Yeah. yeah, we're gonna drop these. We're gonna put some weight on them, just to see if they, if they do leak. And yeah, let's see how we do. I'm excited to see how these turn out. I know we've had some trouble with this one in particular. So let's see how the others do. I'm really excited to see the result. I'm super excited to see if something compares to Travel John, because you know what, these other ones are much cheaper than the Travel John. I would definitely not be opposed to using one of the knockoffs if I know it's going to hold my urine and it's not going to stink up my plane. So excited to see the result.
Yeah. So today we're going to be doing a few different types of tests. Our first test is going to be a quality, features, and convenience test where we're going to look through all of the bags and figure out which one we think is best before we even do any tests. We're going to do a tub/smell test where we put the urine into the bags and leave them for a couple days, and then
Aiden's urine right here.
then that way we see how they smell afterward. We're gonna do a leak test where we tip them upside down, put some weights onto the bags and see which ones can kind of withstand the most pressure before bursting or breaking or leaking. And then we're gonna do the drop test where we're gonna drop each bag from different heights and see which one withstands the best drops.
So we've got this blue dye on any of the tests. The only one test we're going to use are like our actual real urine is to put them in one of these boxes for a few days, but we use blue dye on all the other tests because we don't want to make a mess. Get there itis is obviously something that we're going to be super careful with as pilots, and there's going to be no more important get there itis than I'm about to pee myself and make a mess in my aircraft. So if you can use one of these and relieve yourself, obviously the whole kind of get there itis thing, the whole like oh my gosh, my bladder's about to burst, I've got to pee, I'm going to pee myself, it could go really badly. So before we show you any more of the tests, let's show you some of the techniques for getting your business done in the aircraft.
So we actually contacted Travel John and said, hey, can you send us some of your things to try out? And anyway, they never got back to us.
So what I've found the easiest is if you've got a able co-pilot, then I turn around like this and gravity then helps.
And that's funny. The thing I've got to watch out for when John does this, I've got to watch out that he doesn't kick the stick.
Or sit on the stick.
Gives me a heart attack. Whoa!
Whoa! I don't have a seatbelt on. Then I use this, and this is just easier because it's more natural to do this, and I found that works. And when it's filled up, you just literally just do that, and the gel inside turns your urine to a gel, literally, and they don't smell, you can't spill, and then you can put it away in a Ziploc bag and put it out the way.
I quite like that technique. You've got to be pretty limber. You get quite good privacy that way, I guess, as well, right?
I guess so, but I always see you looking at my stick.
Now, I undo my belt and everything. So I undo my belt, button and fly. That way I've got easy access to all the equipment. And then I lean off to the side.
And that's only because he's cockshy.
I mean, you get a bit of privacy. I don't kick the stick like John does.
With my butt.
Linda is a very experienced pilot, and so in her many years of flying, she's really gotten the technique down for doing your business in the plane. Hi everybody. You want to do this in smooth air, and ideally with a safety pilot. I release my seatbelt, and of course the trick here is to make sure that you don't kick the stick. And I scooch myself around like this. Ta-da! It helps to be flexible. So you do this,
Bubble below. You
you do your business, done.
Stay to the gap or the
I
gap
just
on the
twist
left.
it,
Yeah, I'm
put it
seeing
in
a
a
little
plastic
gap on the
bag.
left there, that little valley. I think that might be out.
carefully and gently. Swing yourself back around, and you probably know what happens from here.
So I'm here with Richard Nason. He owns a brand new, beautiful TSI that he did a build assist for here at Torrance. Richard was asking what we were doing this morning, and we were explaining we're filming a video about peeing in the cockpit, and he shared with me a technique that we haven't come across yet.
My technique, so this is a pretty accurate representation of our TSI. It's about 65 inches wide. But so if I'm sitting over here left seat, you are kind of lean back like this. Here's the stick, yeah? even if I was pushing up on the center console and my head's hitting the top of the cabin from here, I still was kind of aiming uphill. So I realized even with the stick, I brought my leg up like so, put my hand kind of on the back seat like this, then I just unrolled the bag from there and was able to kind of get my downstream going. And made sure I kept it upright, you know, while I kind of positioned myself down. So I sealed it up nice, and that was my technique.
Okay, cool, good luck. Don't miss.
Matthew bears all.
Not a huge fill, but
Bingo, that's good.
I'm going to talk very briefly about the difference between a Travel John and a Travel Jane and why you might choose to use each one of these. Obviously one is white, the other's pink, but the first thing I noticed immediately, the Travel Jane has a bigger opening. So that's going to make it, you know, easier. I mean, I don't know because I haven't used one but as a woman, but I would think easier for a woman because you've got a bigger, you know, wider and bigger mouth there. One thing I did notice about the Travel Jane though is doesn't have a zip on the top. So for me, you know, I don't like that so much. I prefer, and I know women that have used the Travel John and they've used them just fine. You know, they've had perfect success with the Travel John. So for me, not having that, the zip close at the top is kind of like a showstopper for me on this one.
That's a deal breaker for me personally. I would
Yeah.
not want to have an open bag anywhere. Regardless of if it's gel or not, gel can still spill.
So the Travel John is
800 milliliters.
800
Or
milliliters.
28 ounces.
Yes, some of these are a little bit lower than that. So like this is a, you know, the little mini WC here is a 700 ml. We're going to throw this in a table for you, get it up on screen.
Yeah, all of them are 700 milliliters except the Travel John and the Gatorade bottle, which are both 800. So those two have a little bit of an advantage there. It's going to be a little more difficult to overfill them. So those two win that category.
Does that look loose to you, or is that in something that prevents it from falling? It's actually in here, in another bag, so the gel doesn't fall out.
Wow.
So I like that. It's in a bag in the bag, so that's really convenient. You know, overall quality-wise, the seam is really wide on the Travel John. For people who are in millimeters, like a good 3.5 millimeters or more, that's, you know, say 1/4 inch. And I can tell you, I've used these before, and you can see when you move it around or manipulate it that the liquid inside doesn't splash around. The other thing I really like just about the Travel John in general, or the Travel Jane, is that this is plastic.
And it's pretty hardy. It's not too flimsy, you know, it doesn't just fold closed.
So that's the Travel John. Quality looks good, seam looks good, it's got the gel in it. The gel is in a separate bag so it doesn't fall out. Let's move on now to the emergency mini toilet. This is the one that I'm most doubtful about because we've used this and it leaked.
Yeah.
So just looking inside, there is no, I don't see any gel in this one. I just see this, it's almost like a paper towel. It does feel like there's something in it, so maybe the gel is in the paper towel, but we'll find out some more when we do some tests with our blue dye. You know, like we said before, I don't like that this is flexible. Obviously as a woman this would be very difficult to use. It says it's unisex, but it wouldn't be as safe and secure as using one with a hard top on it. So yeah, just so the emergency mini toilet, the seam on the side of it is super thin, super narrow. So in terms of where the plastic has been sealed, this is what I think is going to be an issue with the emergency mini toilet. We know it is. We've
We've had it happen to us in the past.
We've had the trouble. So it doesn't look like there's gel, and there's just definitely not gel in a separate bag like in the Travel John. So that's the emergency mini toilet. Here's the mini WC. Oh, I remember using one of these.
Yeah,
So
one's actually pretty good.
yeah, this one's pretty good. So this one's got gel in it. For a guy, I think, you know, it doesn't matter too much about the hard top versus the foamy top. Looking at the gel in here, the gel is loose. If I were to turn this upside down right now, I'd end up with gel powder all over the table. Overall quality-wise, this feels good. It's got a pretty good wide seam. It's not quite as wide as the seam on the Travel John, but mini WC, I think this one's going to be the worst.
Yep.
This one's going to be the worst. I think this one's going to do quite well.
It's gonna do well.
The Bitso Goom, I remember using one of these.
Yeah, that one.
And this was pretty good. This doesn't have the gel in it. I don't see any gel. I just have this kind of thing that looks a bit like a paper towel. Again, we'll see how effective this is versus the gel when we do our testing, but a nice wide seam on this.
The one thing I will say that I just noticed on this one, which may or may not make it more difficult, is the thinner opening right here. Kind of goes
Well, I mean, that'll be a problem for me, but
in an awkward position with a much smaller target could make a little bit of a difference.
And then the last one here, I mean, Gatorade bottle's a Gatorade bottle. We're all pretty familiar with that. The last one here, again, no gel in this one. This is the PP Easy. Nice looking seams. It's got a little convenient tab on here, which is kind of a cool idea, I think. Again, the soft top. The only one with the solid top is the Travel John. So for sure, if I was recommending this for a woman, and there's, hopefully there's plenty of women out there watching our videos. If you've got experience, you let us know. But I wouldn't feel comfortable with using this as a woman. But again, the quality of this one seems pretty good. So last up is the Gatorade bottle. This is Gatorade in here, by the way. I think it's going to fare well. It's not going to be quite so convenient. We have a limited amount of room in an aircraft. Obviously, we can fit a lot of these in a very small box. It's probably not practical to take a bunch of these with you.
That being said, you're not going to use more than 2 in one flight.
No, yeah, packing a couple wouldn't be that big a deal.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of sealability, it has better sealing than any of the other things. It's probably going to do pretty well in the drop test.
I wouldn't do this with any of those.
Yeah.
With pee in it. So I don't know what I think, for my vote, this is our dodgiest. It's got the worst seams. I've seen one of the seams leak in one of these, just because we've had the opportunity to use it in the aircraft. The rest of these, I don't know. I mean, I'm interested to see how it
Do we
goes.
give a number ranking right now to see who gets the closest?
Yes.
Okay,
I think that's
perfect.
a great idea. I think we've got a clear winner here with the Travel John. I'd say this would be number 2, or at least for guys only. These 3 have good seams. This one doesn't. This is my loser. So I'd pick this as my number 6. 1, 2, and these could all be interchangeable really for me. Oh, which one had the gel? I'm interested. This would be my number 3, 4, 5, and 6.
Okay, mine's going to be extremely similar for all the same exact reasons,
Yeah.
but different. I'm going to go 1. I'm talking about for me. When I'm bringing this, I have used this in a car, and comparing that to having used these in planes, this is easier for me. Number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That one is definitely going to lose.
I mean, obviously, my image of this one has been affected
Altered,
by the fact that
definitely.
it didn't work for us.
But that being said, that could be 1 bag out of however many. That's why we're doing this test. That's why we're checking. All right. I think we got them all covered then.
Yep.
So, end of test number 1. Check.
So 3 days have gone by. I'm really excited about today. We're going to be doing our sniff test, of course. We're going to save that for last. But I'm really excited to see how these bags perform. We're going to get some blue liquid. We're going to put it 650 ml in each of the bags. We're going to see whether they even hold the liquid on this side. And then we're going to add weights. And as we add weight, we'll see if they can hold the liquid. We're going to do a drop test as well to see at what height the bags leak or burst. And I'm excited to see who the winner is.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I'm pretty excited to see how some of these cheaper brands hold up. If their seams are going to be as strong. Like we mentioned before, some of those have pretty thin seams. I want to see what difference that makes during these tests.
We're going to go ahead and put a few drips of this in. So we've got 650 mils of blue liquid in here. We're going to pour it into each of the bags. We're going to start off with the one that I think is the weakest bag. You can pick the next weakest. We'll see how we go. Well, we both picked this as the weakest, right?
It definitely is. That's why.
Yeah. Okay, so it definitely looks like it would hold 700 for sure. It's definitely holding the liquid. There's one. Okay. Oh, that would have been
Don't
bad.
do that. Yeah, you're doing
You
the
know what?
test before it gets there. So we filled up the first bag. What we're gonna do here is we're gonna fill up all the bags, leave them there, and then one at a time we're gonna test them. And then that also gives them a chance to let us know if they're gonna leak by themselves in the meantime.
Okay. All right, so we've got all our bags full and a bottle. They all seem to be holding the liquid. which is good. It's a good start. What do you think? We just start stacking weights on?
Yep.
So we've got a whole range of weights going from 1.25 kilos. Sorry for you people who don't know kilos, multiply by 2 1/4. So we go all the way up to 10 kilos, which is 22.5 pounds. Here we go, 1.25 kilos. Easy, 2.5. So that's a reasonable amount of weight right there. 5 kilos. So actually this is pretty impressive. 10 kilos. Holy shit. Wow, that's 10 kilos. Okay, I'm really shocked. 15 kilos. That's absolutely a pass right there. I mean, what else do we do? Do we go get more weight? Should we see how the other bags do?
Right.
Okay, we're good at 5. 10. Okay, 15. Wow, I'm just really impressed. Get that kettlebell on there and wow.
Easily.
Super impressive. Oh! Did you get that? So Matthew barely touched this one. And not only did it open, the gel wasn't enough to soak up all of the liquid. So that was the PP Easy. Okay.
Okay, let's give this one a try and see with what's left, what will happen.
2.5 kilos?
Yeah.
This is gonna go for sure. No, it's not. Oh no, it's leaking. At 2.5 kilos, that's leaking. So let's go 5. PP Easy is a bust.
Oh my. And that was quite a lot of liquid in there too.
Yeah.
Failed.
PP Easy, you failed. And it doesn't look like there's enough gel in there to hold all of the liquid, and we didn't even fill it right up. So
this one's actually feeling quite jelly as well now too.
It really is, yeah. Okay, let's go for the Mini WC. It's got a lot of gel too. That's fully gelled up.
Yep.
Okay, so Mini WC, starting with 5. Now 10, 15, 17.5, 18.75. Now let's chuck the kettlebell on top and see if she's a bust. Okay, give it a pass.
Pass.
Yeah?
Yep.
So now we're on the Bitso Goom. Gonna start with 5 kilos. So it's already dripping at 5. Absolutely leaking there. It's coming out quite consistently. Let's put another 5 on.
Oh, I can hear it now.
So it's leaking, but it's not horrific. It's not, oh no, it's coming out pretty fast now. But it wasn't a catastrophic fail. All right, so Gatorade bottle, we're going full weight. There's no chance that this isn't gonna hold the full weight, but let's do it to be fair. So that's full weight. I'm not taking any of the weight there. I'm just keeping it balanced. Gatorade bottle, you're a winner.
Check.
Okay, so we topped up well, we didn't top up, we replaced a couple of bags that leaked and that burst. Now what we're gonna do, this is like super subjective. We're just gonna have a look at the gel and see if we really think that the gel's doing a good job. So we're just gonna pop each of, oh wow. So that's actually the Bitso Goom, even though it leaked. So it's actually pretty jelly. And then now we're on the emergency mini toilet. Wow, it's really jelly too. The gel in here is very effective. It's pretty darn good. I mean, that's not gonna leak like that.
Oh wow, look at this.
That's solid. That's literally a
piece
solid
of
block.
gel.
I'm really liking the Mini WC.
This one is
That's really jellified.
moving up on my list.
I don't know if you can see that, but before, it's just not fully gelled up at all. The PP Easy is quite liquidy. I mean, just to show you, I'm just gonna pour just the tiniest little bit out. That's not jellified at all. So the PP Easy is definitely bottom of my list right now based on our current tests. Our tried and true, our Travel John, I mean, very heavily jellified. Technical term, jellified. That's solid gel. I mean, look at that. I can hold that upside down. In fact, let's do that with a really good one. Okay, Mini WC. Upside down. Okay.
I got that.
You got that? So, honestly, I feel so comfortable with this. I could hold it over my head. Oh, shit. Okay, I held it over my head and some fell out. That's solid. A little bit on the mic, you know, it's blue.
At least it's not urine. 10 out of 10 for it not being urine.
If I was to try it, I'd be
Yeah, I mean, I think him trying it on me first is what inevitably made it fall out over him. I don't know.
And then of course the Gatorade bottle. There's no
No
jellification here, but you know, let's see how it does. Okay, let's try some dropping.
Let's do it.
I'd like to apologise to the emergency mini toilet because it's done a stellar job so far, so I'm sorry. So let's go, so what are we doing, 4 feet?
Yep.
Got your tape measure? 4 and 4 foot apart. Okay, we're going 4, 6 and 8. 6 feet.
All good.
That's another pass. There's 8 feet there, and
There we go.
8 feet. So it was 8 feet. Oh, look at that. It didn't even break the seam. It broke the plastic. So that seems good. So I'm really sorry, emergency mini toilet. I will use you again. Start with 4 feet. 4 feet. Oh, damn it. It actually came undone before I even dropped it. So the PB Easy, first of all, yeah, the gel is completely ineffective in the PB Easy.
It's completely liquid.
Yeah, so I mean, that didn't even hold for me to hold it. Sorry, PP Easy, you leak too easy. Here is the Bitso Goom. It actually feels pretty jelly to me. So that's 4 feet.
4 feet is here.
4 feet.
Wait, point it away from us.
Oh, that popped. 4 feet. The Bitso Goom, you know, pretty good, but it did open at a 4 foot drop. Your ride is over. The next one, Mini WC, very quickly becoming one of my new favorites. We realized that the gel actually takes about 1.5 to 2 minutes to set up, and even gets more solid after that. So your most dangerous period are those first 2 minutes before the gel kind of sets up. Okay, 4 feet. 6 feet, down there. Good. 6 feet, still a good seal.
Going up to 8.
And
Oh!
8 feet, we burst the Mini WC. Really impressed with this bag. I would absolutely use this. I'd put this right up there with Travel John, but let's just see. We still have a couple of tests to go. Travel John, tried and true. 4 feet, yep.
Good.
Solid as. 6 feet for Travel John.
Slap the ground.
Okay, 8 feet for Travel John. And whoa! Just a very small failure on the Travel John. Oh no. Okay, take that back. This is the cool thing about the Travel John though. Because it had a bag in a bag with the gel, it did actually, that interior bag did pop, but this really holds it together well. Yeah.
They all popped at 8 feet, so none of them made it past it.
Except the Gatorade.
We have the Gatorade bottle still to go. There's still a chance for one of them to beat 8 feet. We'll see if it happens.
I say we skip 4 feet and go 6 feet.
Yeah, I think so too.
And we've got to bounce. 8 feet.
Winner!
Winner! Gatorade bottle is the winner. Let's throw this Gatorade bottle in the air. 20 feet. We know it beats the 8 feet. Oh, it's leaking.
Oh,
Way above 8 feet. Damaged the lid. That was at about 15 feet. Of course, we're not dropping this in the aircraft more than a few feet, so Gatorade bottle is definitely a winner in my book. This is the end of day 3. These have actually been out here on the airport for 3 days. Beating sun, so it's actually toward the end of the day right now. But they've been out here in the sun for 3 days. I think this has been a pretty good test to see if, you know, if they stink. So each of us will grab our own bins right now, 2 of us each, Aiden, Matthew and me. And we're gonna open them up, give it a sniff, see if any is leaked, and then everything's going straight into that big blue dumpster. All right, oh, we have leakage.
oh hell no.
We've got some leakage here on the emergency mini
I might have to take you off my list. I know I gave you a kiss earlier, told you sorry, but this is a showstopper right here. The last thing I want is smelly urine in my aircraft, and I tell you what, when I open this up, I know it's going to stink. This one's good though.
No,
oh
leak.
no, we got leakage as well. Wow, interesting. That's the PP Easy. I'd say this is a fail on the sniff test, but you know what? I better open them up and give them a sniff anyway.
That one's mine. That one's yours.
Gatorade bottle, looking pretty solid. No leaks.
Man, you filled that thing up.
Doesn't look like any leaks on the Mini WC or the Travel John. Nice.
Okay. Oh, I see some liquid in this one.
Oh!
Vitsogoom is a fail.
I don't need to sniff this toy. It smells like piss. Of course it does. Oh. Yeah, so absolute showstopper on both of these. Both of these are going straight in the garbage.
Okay.
All right.
Aiden's gonna scoot over into the hot seat there.
Oh. All right. It smells like plastic. It smells like a plastic tub.
Wow.
That's pretty good.
So that's
It just
a
smells like a
pass.
plastic tub. I mean,
What do you think?
good shit.
Shall I give it a try?
A little risky.
Perfect. Like, you're right. It smells like plastic. Okay.
Travel John, our best. Plastic tub.
I trust that one.
I trust it. Yeah.
Okay. Winners.
Ooh, I'm gonna start with the bad one.
The piece.
Yeah.
So that's a showstopper.
That's-
I think.
Doesn't smell like anything. I don't know if you trust it enough to give it a test, but
Smells
smells
like
like
plastic.
nothing.
Okay, in the sniff test, we've got 3 clear winners. Like, all the others leaked, actually. So not only did they stink, but they leaked. Obviously, you don't want urine leaking in your plane. But yeah, Gatorade bottle,
Mini WC,
WC,
and Travel John.
and Travel John, all clear winners on this test. Like,
Definitely.
absolute 100% clear winners. So, you know, if I'm going to buy a knockoff, I'm going to buy one of the knockoffs that performed well. We know that the Travel John is an absolute performer. The tests have showed that. Holding the gel was a big deal, and it was definitely the most gelled up. So it definitely had the most gel.
The most dense gel. It wasn't
Yeah.
loose like some of the other ones.
The Mini WC, I'd say
I'd say that's the
that's
number 2.
right up there. I mean, that's like an absolute number 2. It's only narrowly behind the Travel John. Like the Travel John with the gel in the bag is.
The hard lid on the Travel.
Oh yeah, of course, and the hard lid. That definitely helps. It's going to help no matter what for guys and girls, especially for girls. So if women are going to be using it, I'd say absolutely Travel John, 100% number 1. For guys, though, I think like the Mini WC is right up there. I'd be really happy to buy them and use them.
I would use it for sure.
And I'd use the Gatorade bottle as well. And Matthew brought up a really good point with the Gatorade bottle, and that is that you could put the gel in it.
So we'll find one, a specific one. We'll grab you a link and we'll put it in the description in case you want to maybe even buy it in bulk.
But in a pinch, I'd absolutely 100% use a Gatorade bottle. You can buy it at any FBO. In fact, you've got your drink and your container to dump it into.
And I mean,
So it's multi-purpose.
on a technical basis, the Gatorade bottle won.
Oh yeah, that's true.
So if we're going by who got the best score in each category, Gatorade bottle won all of them.
We'll throw a table up for you, right here to show you how they all did. 3 clear winners. I'd say for me, number 1 Travel John, number 2 Mini WC, but I'd absolutely buy the Mini WCs for me as a guy because they're cheaper than the Travel John and Gatorade bottle. I'd be happy with any 3 of those solutions. Everything else for me is a complete bust.
Yeah.
I absolutely don't want my aircraft to stink, and I absolutely don't want urine in my aircraft.
No, I agree. I mean, personally, I'd be happy to use the Travel John, Mini WC, or Gatorade bottle. I do, however, like you agree that if you're a woman, Gatorade bottle is a showstopper probably with that really small top, and having a non-plastic, a non-solid rim is just gonna make it a lot more difficult. But if you're a guy, personally, like I said, I'd be happy with any of the 3.
So don't forget to like and subscribe, but also give us your comments. I know a lot of you out there have probably used these types of products. Or if you've got any other ideas, comments, absolutely leave a comment for us. Like and subscribe if you can. It absolutely helps the channel and helps us to get more good content out.
See you next week. Shot put. Oh! He almost sent it right over the back. Okay, I'm gonna go for the discus style.
I got blue piss all down my back.
Yeah, it was literally rolling